Welcome to the Midnight Library. I see you found your way here, despite the hour. Tell me, what time is it where you are? And where are you listening from?
I never cared much about Thanksgiving growing up. When you spend your childhood in an orphanage, the holiday feels like a reminder of what you don't have. Family, warmth, someone who remembers you exist. Every year, I ate my reheated microwaved meals alone. No decorations, no table, no one waiting for me, just me. Until this year. This stupid, unforgettable year. This year I had her, Diane. The first person who ever made me feel like maybe I wasn't meant to be alone forever. She said, "You shouldn't spend Thanksgiving alone. Let's host something, just a small dinner." We invited her friend Lily. I invited my best friends Joel and Cindy. Everyone brought food: lasagna, cheeseburgers, dumplings, juice, jambalaya, and pizza. The table actually looked like something from a movie. For the first time in my life, my house didn't feel like a place I slept. It felt like a place for celebration. And then the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, there was a woman standing on the front step. She was in her late 40s, maybe early 50s. Hair tied back in a loose bun, streaked with gray. Coat too thin for the cold. Eyes tired, like she hadn't slept in years. She looked at me like she was looking at a ghost. "Patrick," she said softly. "It's you. Oh my God, it's really you." I stepped out and closed the door behind me. "Do I know you?" I asked. Her lips trembled. "It's me. I'm your mother." I laughed sarcastically. I thought it was a joke, a scam. "Right, okay. What do you want? You can't just show up and say that." She flinched, then swallowed. "You had a birthmark on your left chest, shaped like a half moon. You used to cry so hard the nurses joked you'd break your own lungs. I named you after your grandfather, Patrick, but they spelled it wrong on the papers. I never had the chance to correct it." My throat tightened. "Anyone could guess that," I muttered. "Birthmarks, nurses, that's basic." Her eyes filled with tears. "Your necklace, the one with a tiny silver circle? They told you it was just from the orphanage, didn't they? It wasn't. It was mine. I sold the matching one to buy your formula." My heart stopped for a second. The necklace in my drawer, the one the caretaker gave me when I was 10, the one she said came with me. Before I could answer, the front door creaked open behind me. Diane peeked out. "Pat? Is everything okay?" I turned slightly. She says she's my mother." Diane's eyes narrowed. She stepped onto the porch, keeping a slight distance. The woman looked at her, then back at me. "I've looked for you for years," she said. "I made mistakes, terrible ones, but I never stopped thinking about you." Diane leaned closer to me and whispered, "You don't owe her anything. We can send her away. This doesn't have to happen tonight." Joel appeared behind her, curious. "What's going on?" I muttered, "She claims she's my mom." Joel looked at her, then at me. "Dude, what if she is? I mean, look at her. Just talk to her. It's Thanksgiving." I hated how that word could still push me. My chest felt tight. My brain yelled no. My heart whispered, "What if it's true? What if you finally have someone?" I asked her one more thing, a detail nobody from outside should know. "If you're really my mother," I said quietly, "then tell me something no one else would know." She hesitated, then whispered, "You weren't wrapped in a blanket when I left you at the orphanage." I didn't have one. I used a faded green towel. It had a tiny tear in the corner, shaped almost like a triangle. I've hated myself for that every day since. I felt sick. I still had that towel. I didn't fully believe her, but I believed her enough to waver. "Fine," I heard myself say. "You can come in, just for dinner. That's it." I opened the door and let the woman who claimed she was my mother into my house. I wish I didn't. because the moment she sat down, everything started falling apart. Dinner was busy. Too many voices in a small house. Joel making jokes, Lily laughing at everything, Cindy watching. Cindy had that kind of gaze that feels like it sees more than it should. She and Diane had known each other for years. When my mother walked into the dining room, everyone went quiet for a second. Diane's smile froze. Cindy's eyes narrowed. "This is my mother," I said awkwardly. The word felt strange in my mouth. Cindy's gaze flicked from her to me and back, sharp and assessing. We sat down to eat, potluck style. Lily's lasagna, Cindy's cheeseburgers, Joel's jambalaya and juice, Diane's dumplings, and my pizza. My mother took small portions, mostly just picking at the bread. At some point, I noticed Cindy staring at Diane's face, really staring. "You okay?" I asked. Cindy looked away quickly. "Yeah, just thought I recognized someone for a second." Diane's fork scraped hard against her plate. Later, when everyone was busy talking, I went to grab more drinks from the kitchen. As I passed the hallway, I heard voices, low, tense, near the back door. Cindy's voice. "You think I wouldn't remember? You really thought you could just start over here?" Diane's voice, shaking. "Not here. Not now. Please." "You killed him," Cindy hissed. "My cousin. You left him on the road to die. Do you know what that did to my family?" My hands went cold. I froze, hidden by the doorway. Diane whispered, "I didn't mean to. I was drunk. I panicked. I was going to turn myself in." "But you didn't," Cindy spat. "You ran, changed cities, changed your life, and now you're playing house with him like nothing happened." Diane choked. "Please, don't tell him. Not tonight. I'll explain. I just need time." Cindy's voice dropped. "If you don't tell him, I will." Footsteps shifted. The conversation stopped. I stepped back into the kitchen, heart pounding. I pretended I heard nothing. I told myself I'd ask Diane about it later. But I never got the chance. Back at the table, the air felt heavier. Diane looked like she'd seen a ghost. She barely touched her dumplings. Her hands shook so much I had to take the serving spoons from her. Cindy ate slowly, calmly. My mother watched them like she was watching a movie everyone else had seen, but she was catching for the first time. Her eyes moved from Diane to me to Cindy. Cindy took another bite of dumplings. Something shifted in her face. She coughed once, then again, harder. "Are you okay?" Lily asked. Cindy's hand flew to her throat. Her chair scraped back. She started gagging. Water spilled. That didn't help. Her eyes went wide, red, panicked. She clawed at her neck like something invisible had latched onto her. "Cindy?" I stood up. "Cindy, breathe." She couldn't. Her cough turned into this awful, wet, choking sound. She fell to her knees. Joel grabbed her, shouting her name. Lily screamed. Diane just froze, staring, her face completely drained of color. "Call an ambulance," someone yelled. I don't even know who. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped my phone. They dragged her out to Joel's car because the ambulance was too far. He shouted he'd take her straight to the hospital. Lily slammed the passenger door, sobbing. The engine roared, and the car disappeared down the street. Silence fell over the house like a heavy blanket. I stood there in my own living room, dishes half-eaten on the table, and all I could think was, this was supposed to be a good night. After they left, Diane wouldn't stop washing her hands. The bathroom tap upstairs kept running, then the kitchen sink, then back to the bathroom. I followed her into the kitchen once. "Diane," I said softly, "hey, look at me." She wouldn't. She stared down at the sink, rubbing her fingers until the skin turned raw pink. "It's my fault," she whispered. "What? No, no." I reached for her, but she flinched. "I didn't mean for it to be like this," she said. I just wanted her to stop. Stop what? I asked. She shook her head. Not now, please, I can't. Behind us, in the dim light, my mother stood in the hallway. She said nothing, just watched. Her expression wasn't grief, it was something I couldn't explain. I told myself I was imagining it. Hours passed. We got some updates by phone. Cindy was in critical condition. Then, complications. Then, nothing. Lily stopped replying. Joel didn't pick up. Diane went upstairs, saying she needed to wash her face and breathe. I stayed downstairs in the living room alone, the TV on low, a movie playing nobody paid attention to. At some point, I heard the upstairs bathroom door close, water start running, footsteps, then another set of footsteps on the stairs, lighter, quicker. I assumed it was Diane coming back down. I must have drifted off. Exhaustion, shock, emptiness. The kind of tired that feels like your body weighs more than the couch. I don't know how long I slept. All I know is when I opened my eyes, the house was dark. The TV had switched to a screensaver. My neck hurt from the angle I was lying in. The wall clock in the hallway read a little past 3 a.m. The upstairs light was off, the bathroom quiet. The house felt strangely clean. Diane? I called out. No answer. I checked the kitchen. The dining table had been cleared, leftover containers stacked neatly, the floor wiped. Like someone had quietly erased the night. My mother was in the kitchen near the stove, ladling something from a small pot. She turned when she heard me. "Oh, sweetheart," she said softly. "You're awake. I thought you'd sleep till morning." "Where's Diane?" I asked. My mother hesitated for half a second, then smiled. "She left," she said softly. "Family emergency. Something about her parents. She didn't want to wake you. She said she'd call." My chest tightened. "Her coat is still on the chair," I said. "She said she'll come back for them," my mother replied. She was in a hurry. I tried calling Diane. Phone off. I checked upstairs, the guest room where my mother slept. Empty. The bathroom smelled faintly of bleach. My mother appeared at the bottom of the stairs holding a bowl. "You should eat something," she said. "Your hands are shaking." She handed me the bowl. Soup. Simple broth. Bits of carrot, onion, tiny shreds of meat. My eyes burned suddenly. Growing up, all I'd ever seen were scenes on TV. Moms bringing late-night soup, tucking kids in, making bad days a little softer. I never thought I'd feel that. Now here she was, my supposed mother, in my kitchen, in my house, giving me warm food at 3 a.m., touching my hair like I was something precious. I took a sip. It was good, warm, savory. Something in my chest cracked open, and I started crying. "I'm sorry I left you," she whispered, resting a hand on my shoulder. "I was scared. I was poor. I was alone. I made the worst mistake a mother can make. But I promise you, I will never leave you again." I believed her, because I wanted to. Not because it made sense, not because she earned it, but because the little boy in me was starving for someone to stay. I finished the bowl. She smiled, kissed my forehead, and told me to rest. I lay down on the couch again. The house hummed softly. The pipes, the fridge, the wind outside. I fell asleep thinking, maybe this is what family feels like. I didn't know what I had just swallowed. The knock came around 7 a.m., hard, angry, the kind of knocking that doesn't wait politely. I opened the door and Joel shoved past me so fast I almost fell. "Where the hell is she?" he shouted. My heart jumped. "Who? Diane?" He looked like he hadn't slept at all. His eyes were bloodshot, face twisted with grief and rage. "Cindy is dead," he said. "Poisoned. Not food poisoning, actual poison. Traces in the food she ate in your house. We told the police everything. Diane was the one acting weird all night, and now she's gone and her phone pinged here. So I'm asking you one more time, where is she?" My stomach dropped. I don't know, I stammered. My mother said, "The woman?" he snapped. "The one who showed up out of nowhere?" Behind him, 2 police officers came up the path. "Mr. Patrick?" one asked. I nodded numbly. "We need to ask you some questions about last night." Things blurred after that. Questions about food, about who cooked what, about Cindy's medical history, about arguments, about Diane. They told me what I already feared. Cindy didn't just choke. Her system had been hit with a crushed sedative, something that, in a healthy person, might have just caused dizziness or sleepiness. But Cindy had an underlying condition. Her airway reacted. It spiraled into something fatal. The sedative had been mixed into the portion of food Cindy ate most of, and that plate had been prepared by Diane. My chest hurt. I wanted to defend her. Then I remembered the argument in the back hallway. "You killed him, my cousin. You killed him, and now you're playing house with him." I squeezed my eyes shut. "Where's your mother?" one officer asked. I turned to call her. No answer. The house was suddenly terribly quiet. I checked the guest room. Empty bed, neatly folded blanket. Something sharp twisted inside me. We went upstairs. Nothing. The lead officer turned toward the back door. "What's that behind your house?" I blinked. "What?" He pointed. "The tank, the small water tank." A tight chill crept up my spine. Behind the house, near the fence, sat a small blue plastic water tank, the kind landlords use for storage. I never touched it, never needed it. Honestly, I barely remembered it existed. The officer lifted the lid halfway, then froze. Inside, murky water, a metallic smell, and long strand of dark hair floating on the surface, the same shade as Diane's. I stumbled back. In the kitchen, an officer lifted the lid off the small pot on the stove I thought my mother had washed. There was still a bit of broth clinging to the sides, tiny bits of carrot, a shred of something pale and fibrous that looked like a finger. A plastic bag was found half tucked into my mother's now empty closet in the guest room. Inside it, Diane's necklace, her bracelet, her phone, a shirt with a dark red stain around the collar. "She wouldn't scream much with a blow to the back of the head," one of the officers said quietly later, like he was explaining a weather pattern. Running water in the bathroom would mask most of the impact. Basements, laundry rooms, any enclosed space away from where you were sleeping. They're very good at keeping secrets. I sat on the couch, shaking, listening to strangers reconstruct what had happened in my own house while I slept. Diane went upstairs to wash her face and calm down. My mother followed her silently. They argued, maybe about me, maybe about Cindy, maybe about guilt. My mother saw an opportunity, a quick, hard blow, water running, a body dragged quietly to the back of the house, away from my sleeping, stupid body on the couch. And sometime between midnight and 3 a.m., my mother, the woman who said she loved me, the woman who said she regretted leaving me, cut the person I loved into small, manageable pieces. Not a full butchery, not cinematic gore, just enough. Just enough to make a pot of soup for her son. Just enough to make sure he would never forget her. Just enough to make sure part of Diane would never leave me. They never found my mother. That's the part that keeps me up at night more than anything. Not the memory of the pot, not the taste of the soup. It's the thought that she's still out there somewhere. Maybe in another town, maybe in another house, maybe knocking on another door, telling some other man, "It's me, I'm your mother. I'm here to make things right." And I can't stop thinking how I was celebrating Thanksgiving with killers.
Another chapter closed. Leave the candle lit in the comments and tell us what part of the story stayed with you.